Hello, Sabine Stofall with the Wealth Planning Company. You are watching Sabine Has Something to Say. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the psychology of investing. As I'm thinking of this, I can't help but be reminded of this guy, Jim Bowen. He's the CEO of First Trust Portfolios. And anytime I've ever met him, he's been like, I don't care how you feel about the market, math wins. And he's right, math does win. But even though your feelings may not lead to a successful investment strategy, they still matter. So let's talk about it. So we all know that in order to make money in the stock market, you need to buy something at a low price and sell it at a higher price. That sounds easy, right? But can you do it? So let's say you're a new client and you come to me with $100,000 and we determined that you'd really like to see that money double over the next 10 years. Okay. So I put you in a moderately aggressive portfolio with the goal of doubling over the next 10 years. No problem. But let's say the next month the market drops 25%. Now, if we did a good job choosing your investments, then you're not down 25%. Maybe you're down 15%. Now, from my perspective, our strategy is working. A 25% drop in the market is painful, but is kind of unremarkable. You can expect that to happen a few times in the 10 years that you are investing. You're outperforming the market by 10%. This is what winning looks like. Now, from your perspective, you might be like, I gave you $100,000 just a few weeks ago. I now only have $85,000. This is not what winning looks like. This is terrible. Turns out I made a huge mistake. Get me out. And then I'm going to say, I strongly encourage you to stick with our plan. We have a 10-year time horizon, plenty of time to recover. Our strategy's working. Let it work. And then you're going to say, I hear you, but I want out. I'll get back in when it feels better. So I'll take you out. And then the market's going to bounce back to where it started. And then we're going to talk again. And you're going to say, it feels better. Let's get in. Do you see what just happened? Your frustration would have been completely understandable. But what we just did was buy high, sell low, buy back in high. The opposite of what we're trying to accomplish. But you can understand how easy it is to fall into this trap. A lot of investors do. But winners don't. I am pulling up a chart that was published by Ned Davis Research that demonstrates stock market returns based on consumer sentiment. So going back to 2006, if you only invested during times of excessive optimism when it felt great, then on average you would have lost 1.66% annually. While if you would have only invested during times of extreme pessimism when it felt the worst, your return would have been 23.5% annually. We can take it back to 1994. Numbers are even more brutal. Investing when it felt good would have lost you 4% annually, while investing when it felt awful would have given you a 26% annual return. The reality is that winning doesn't always feel like winning. And this is true of the stock market, but also in life. If you were to poll Olympic medalists, you would find that by far the least happy people are the silver medalists. They feel even worse about their performance than the bronze, even though they did better. Silver is better than bronze. But it feels worse because the silver medalists were that close to winning gold and they failed. Whereas the bronze medalists were that close to not being on the podium at all. They're just happy to be there. The emotions of investing can be very difficult, which is why it is so important to work with an advisor. Our experience can help you navigate the array of emotions that you will inevitably feel when you decide to take a chance and grow your money in the market. We want to see you succeed. That's why we want to be your advisors. Give us a call anytime. Sabine Stovall with the Wealth Planning Company. Until next time.